Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for my monthly Blu-ray pickups video. This may be the biggest pickups video I've ever done, be it on this channel or my old channel. Got a lot of lots of Blu-rays that I picked up from eBay. Did a little bit of hauling from Hamilton Book, Big Lots, Half Price Books, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. So I've made previous haul videos. So the Blu-rays that I covered in those videos, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with today. So I've got two separate piles of stuff. And so I'll go through the stuff that I've already covered first, get them out of the way, and then we'll do the stuff that I haven't talked about. So the first two Blu-rays that I have that I picked up at Dollar Tree this month is Frank, starring Domhnall Gleeson, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Scoot McNairy, and Michael Fassbender. I have not seen that yet, so I am looking forward to watching that. And High Voltage with Luke Wilson and David Arquette, and this looks fairly interesting. So that takes care of Dollar Tree. These next three were from Half Price Books. I got Ben Affleck's Argo, which I've seen, and it's a fantastic film. Apollo 18, the found footage horror film from 2013, I believe. Oh, 2011, sorry. Seen this, it's okay. And last of the Half Price Books, Black Swan, the Darren Aronofsky film with Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis and Vincent Cassel. Glad to have this in my collection. So that takes care of Half Price Books. These next ones were from Big Lots. The Counselor with Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Javier Bardem, and Brad Pitt. Independence Day Resurgence. The Usual Suspects. The Tim Burton version of Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg. And then I have my other Mark Wahlberg pickup. This is Shooter and Four Brothers in a double feature pack. And then the Star Trek films that I picked up, Star Trek 6, Star Trek 5, and Star Trek 1. And again, all of these Blu-rays so far I have covered in a previous video, so that's why I'm kind of going through them real quick. So that takes care of Big Lots. Then Dollar General, Lost in Space, the 1998 version, and the triple feature of 300, Troy, the director's cut, and Alexander Revisited, the final cut from Oliver Stone. All right. So that's all the stuff I've previously talked about. The rest of this stuff is all new pickups that I haven't talked about yet on the channel. And this first bunch is just actually came in yesterday from Hamilton Book. I got an order in, picked up, and two of these I've seen. The rest are blind buys. This is one of the blind buys, and it's the Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. This is a movie that I was interested in when it was in theaters. I just never got around to seeing it, and being that it was very cheap on Hamilton Book, I figured I'd pick it up. I know it's more of a family film, and I don't do family films very often, but this just seemed very interesting because the Goosebumps books came out kind of after I was of the age to read them. Never really got into them, but I just kind of wanted to visit and see what this is all about. Next up is a horror film, Winchester, starring Helen Mirren, and this also intrigued me. This is another blind buy. This is a horror film essentially talking about the house, the world's most haunted house, which was constructed by the heiress of the Winchester fortune, of course, the firearms manufacturer, Let's see who else is in this. Being that I'm old, I can't read this very well, so it doesn't really say. Helen Mirren looks to be the main star. So if you've seen this, let me know what you thought of it. This one looked interesting. I have not seen this. This is from Draft House Films. This is Robin Wright in the Congress. I guess she signs away her identity or her image to be used in an anime, something to that effect. I read about this somewhere and I thought it was really interesting. And this includes quite a number of special features, including a commentary track with the director, an interview with Robin Wright, a 16-page booklet, the trailer, promo spots, and of course the digital download, which I don't really think is a special feature, and a number of people have agreed with me on that. If you've seen The Congress, let me know what you thought. This one I bought mainly because of the cast. I don't know anything about it, but this has Bill Nye, Emily Blunt, Rupert Grint, and Rupert Everett, which all four of them are fantastic, especially Bill Nye and Emily Blunt. This is called Wild Target, and I literally know absolutely nothing about this. I bought it completely because of the cast, but it looks to be an action comedy. If you've seen this, let me know what you thought. Okay, and then the two films from Hamilton book that I've seen. This is the American version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, starring Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara. I saw this in theaters, and really liked it. It does not, I don't think it's as good as the original, but I did think it was very interesting. And there's a sequel to this that does not have Rooney Mara or Daniel Craig in it that I haven't seen, that I do want to pick up. And then the other movie that I've seen in this Hamilton book order was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and this came with an interesting art card. In space, no one can eat ice cream. But I haven't seen this in a really long time, so saying that I've seen it, it just means I have a memory of watching it. I don't remember a whole lot about it, other than the clowns themselves look hilarious. But I'm interested in watching that again. And then the last of the Hamilton book pickups, I think everybody who ordered from Hamilton book recently, who didn't order this, probably wishes they had. This is the Arrow edition of Ronin, starring Robert De Niro, and I have not seen this. This has been on my watch list for a very, very long time, and this is actually the first Arrow Blu-ray that I've ever purchased, and I figured, why not? For $8. The special edition contents are absolutely insane. I'll show this. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Please pause if you would like to read all that, but that is just an absolutely crazy number of special features on this. This, of course, was directed by John Frankenheimer. Really looking forward to watching this. I've heard a lot about a car chase in that film. You can tell there's a lot of stuff here. Kind of an insane amount of Blu-rays. I went a little overboard this month, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Next up is Crawl. This was, I believe, from last year, 2019, by Alexandra Aja, who did the Piranha 3D about a decade ago, and also did High Tension. High Tension I did not particularly like. I thought it was a little too overboard, but I did like Piranha. This is really good. I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen this, check this out. This is sort of, it says right on the front, a suspenseful thrill ride. And I was going to say that it's kind of like a roller coaster. It's a lot of fun. Ultimately, it's forgettable, but definitely worth seeing if you like horror films. Then this is another re-add to my collection. This is Pacific Rim. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo. Picked this up on eBay for $3. So I'm glad to have this back in the collection. Originally I had the 3D version, and I just ended up selling it because I don't have a 3D TV. I have a 3D player, but the chances of me getting a 3D TV at this point are slim and none. So I figured I would just sell it. It was still sealed, so picked up the regular version, super cheap. And then these two I picked up. I just kind of went on a shark kick. I picked up 47 Meters Down with Mandy Moore and Claire Holt. This is an okay shark film. Quite a bit of suspense to it. These two women go on a shark cage dive, and one thing leads to another, and they actually get stranded at the bottom of in 47 meters down, and they're surrounded by sharks, and they have to figure out a way to get back to the surface. So this is okay. But this is the sequel, 47 Meters Down Uncaged, and believe it or not, I actually like this better than the original. It's equally as stupid, but it's fun. It's, again, sort of like Crawl, sort of a roller coaster ride, forgettable ultimately, but the special effects in this are actually pretty decent. And the special effects are pretty decent in the original too, but I just happen to like this better. It's just a popcorn horror film. And then I actually recommended this film to somebody who was looking for a sports film, and I just thought, you know what, I don't have that in my collection. I should probably add it. It's The Rookie, starring Dennis Quaid. I actually saw this in my theater back when it originally came out. I really enjoyed it. It's a very wholesome film, very good. It's based on a true story. And I don't own many Disney films, but these are the kind I like. And I bought The Rookie in a lot with Miracle, which happens to be a very good movie telling of the story of the U.S. Olympic hockey team in 1980, where they went up against the Russians, who were heavily favored against them. Kurt Russell is fantastic in this, but everybody is really good in this. This is something that I watch periodically, and I couldn't believe that I didn't have it in my collection. So glad to have that finally. Another re-add to my collection, and in a completely different form than I had it before, is Paul, starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Jason Bateman, Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader, Sigourney Weaver, and Seth Rogen as the voice of Paul. This is an absolutely raunchy but hilarious film about these two guys who are nerds coming back they travel from England to go to Comic-Con in San Diego, and then they decide that they're going to take a trip across the western half of the United States and visit Area 51 and some other things. And they come across Paul, who has escaped from the U.S. government, and it's just a silly comedy, but it's actually got some decent dialogue. This includes the unrated version and the theatrical version. I've never seen the unrated version, I don't think, but the theatrical version is hilarious. So glad to have this back in my collection in this limited edition steelbook, and I picked this up off of eBay for $7. And I have Shaun of the Dead in a very similar steelbook. And another eBay pickup. This is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I picked this up because I really did not want to spend full price for this. I saw this in theaters, was not particularly thrilled with it. I know I'm going to get hanged for saying this, but I liked The Last Jedi so much better than this film. The fact that this took everything that The Last Jedi set up and threw it out the window because it felt better, because people don't like change. I could go off on the differences between this film and The Last Jedi forever, but I did want to complete my Star Wars collection, and I will give this a second chance, but I did not want to spend more than I spent for it, which was $9 brand new with a slip. So I think I did okay for a movie that really I bought just because I wanted to have all of these Star Wars films. All right, so these next groups are actually my superhero films. I'm trying to complete both my collection of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC universe. So I had a lot of these and got rid of them for whatever reason. So I bought this huge lot on eBay, and I'll just go through these kind of in order, I guess. not that it matters, but well, it doesn't matter. I can't even remember what order they go in, so we'll just do it this way. So I picked up Man of Steel. This is, of course, the Zack Snyder version of the Superman origin story. Of the DC Universe films, this is one of my favorite. I don't particularly like the ending, but this is a really decent film. I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder's work, but I thought he did a really good job with this one. Try and make some room here. Then, of course, that led to Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and this has the Ultimate Edition and the theatrical edition on this. I have not seen the Ultimate Edition yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm glad to have this in my collection. I didn't mind Batman vs. Superman. I know it got a lot of hate, but I don't think it was really justified. Then I picked up Suicide Squad. This is the extended cut. I have not seen the extended cut. I did see this in theaters. It was okay. Probably one of my least favorite of the DC Universe films. I'm absolutely not a fan of Jared Leto's version of the Joker. Not a fan at all of that. But I will give the extended cut of this a watch. And I did pick up Wonder Woman. I did like this. I thought the villain at the end kind of looked like a PlayStation graphic. It was a little too generic of a villain, I think. But the actual movie is good. And Wonder Woman, despite all the flaws with the DC Universe stable of films, Wonder Woman is probably one of the characters that they've done the best job with throughout all of the films. Also picked up Justice League. Not a huge fan of this. I'm looking forward to the Zack Snyder cut that will be on HBO Max next year. This just really, although Zack Snyder gets the credit for this, the Joss Whedon stuff that was put into this because Zack Snyder was unable to finish the film due to family issues. You can just tell what Whedon tinkered with, and it's just, ultimately, this is a disappointing film. And the fact that they kind of rushed to get all of these characters together didn't help things either, so they don't really have any chemistry. Just a big disappointment, so I'm really looking forward to see what Zack Snyder really had in mind. And then I picked up Aquaman. This is not bad. It's really stupid. It's a CGI wet dream. It's just absolutely bonkers how busy everything is, but I really enjoyed it despite the fact that it's totally goofy. I don't really know what else to say about it other than Jason Momoa did a really good job as Aquaman. Completely took a character that had been the butt of many jokes, especially due to Entourage and their Aquaman movie that they were going to be making, and just, you know, he's a guy who talks to fish. How do you make him interesting? I think that the DC Universe has done a good job of turning him into a compelling character, if not necessarily true to what he was in the comics. And then this is the only one of the DC Universe films that I have not seen, and this is Birds of Prey, or I will never remember this full title, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I've not seen this yet. I've heard good things, heard bad things. I don't know. Being that Suicide Squad was one of my least favorite of the DC Universe films, I'm not crazy anticipating this, but I did want to complete the collection. Of course, Shazam I picked up last month, so I believe that is all of the DC Universe films, so those I finally have all of. I picked up a few Marvel movies that I didn't have previously, including Doctor Strange, which I saw in the theater and absolutely loved. I picked this up on eBay used. just because I was not going to pay 25, 28 bucks. This does not ever seem to go on sale in stores. So I just gave in and picked it up used, and this is the Blu-ray DVD combo version. I know there's also a version available that just comes with a digital code. And then finally picked up Endgame. I have Infinity War. Wanted to pick this up. This, of course, is the conclusion of Phase 4. Well, Spider-Man Far From Home is the conclusion, but this was the penultimate episode in Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Finally, also picked up Thor: The Dark World. This is another one that never seems to go on sale. I picked this up used for $3, I believe, which is an absolutely killer deal. And this is just the Blu-ray version. I think there's a DVD Blu-ray combo of this. There's also a 3D version of this as well, but I just got the Blu-ray version. $3, can't beat it. It's not the greatest of the Marvel movies, and the Thor films, other than Ragnarok, which I still need to get, are some of my least favorite in the Marvel universe. And I picked this up, and this came with another film, and it was not, I think it came with the Doctor Strange, but it's the Steelbook version, 4K Steelbook version of Thor, but it is super heavily damaged. This J card is stuck to it seemingly permanently, but this is just absolutely destroyed. Here's the front part. here's the back part. So I need to get a replacement case for this. Obviously, I doubt I'm going to find the Steelbook, but the deal that I got with the Doctor Strange Blu-ray, I think I got the two of them for what I would have paid for one of them on sale if they ever went on sale. So this comes with the 4K Ultra HD disc and the Blu-ray of Thor. I already own Thor, but I just thought it would be interesting to get the 4K version for as cheap as it was, and I'll just replace the discs, or replace the case rather, somehow, and somehow get artwork for it. So this is sort of a project, and one of those things that I'm not really sure what to do with, but I'm glad to have the disc in my collection. So there you go. That's the crazy amount of Blu-rays I picked up this month. Absolutely unapologetically happy that I got some of these films back in my collection that were in my collection previously. Completed some collections of films like the DC Universe and the Star Trek Original Generation cast films. So there you go. If you've seen any of these films, by all means, comment below. Let me know what you thought. And, you know, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like the video, and click the little bell if you subscribe so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I've got some reviews coming up in September. I'm looking forward to doing those. Being that today is September 1st, I actually have a lot of plans coming up, including October's Halloween 15, which, if you're familiar with my website, movieassault.com, every October for the last 2 years, I've watched 15 horror films. I don't have enough free time to do the 31 Days of Horror, so I created the Halloween 15, so I do basically half of that. It's basically a new review every other day in the month of October. So I've got some good ones planned for this month. Or for this year, I've already picked the movies I'm going to be watching, and I will be doing, for the first time this year, I will be doing accompanying video reviews of those picks. So if you want to check out the movies that I reviewed for the Halloween 15 for 2018 and 2019, go to my website at movieassault.com, all one word, movieassault.com, and check it out. You can type in or search for the tag, the Halloween 15, and it'll bring up all of the reviews that I've done. There are 30 of them. So I'm looking forward to doing that and then sharing the videos with you in October. And just stay tuned for all around more movie goodness. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take it easy.